Hey, if you're looking for something to help you manage an in-class lesson with all the tools you could ever imagine needing on the fly or planned for in advance, then this is for you. So we're talking about ClassroomScreen. Let's hop into the video. All right, guys, so ClassroomScreen is just that. It's a classroom management system that you use on the fly with an interactive whiteboard or just a regular projector. So if you're looking for a really quick, like, hey, is this for me? Check out the 60-second ed tech tip that I did on ClassroomScreen. This is gonna be the full tutorial, so let's go ahead and hop in. All right, so the first thing that I want you to see is when you go into ClassroomScreen, you're gonna see this when you log in, right? So you just launch it, but it's basically it's a screen that allows you to put tools up there to use while displaying them in front of the students. I'm just gonna walk you through how I did this. So there's three basic screens you're gonna see. Number one, this looks pretty busy, I get it, but down at the bottom, there's a bunch of tools you can use. So you can change the background, which is pretty simple. You can generate a random name. So in this case, in this box right here, if I put a list of students that I have in my class and then hit random, it's going to go through and choose a random kid. And you can set it up to remember which kids you were chosen and which were not if you don't want to call on the same kid twice, right? But there's several other ways you can do that. So maybe you want to go up to the dice here. You have kids working in groups of 6, or in this case, maybe you only have 6 students with you because half of them are virtual learning or whatever. Maybe it's 12. You click on the dice, and every time you do, it randomly generates a different number. Now, yeah, you can customize the background color and all that other stuff. I won't get into that too much. But this guy right here, the sound level, down here at the bottom, I can set this up to, if I have students working in groups, I can set the sensitivity and an alarm, and if they get too loud, it actually reminds them, hey, you're being too loud. Pretty cool. I'm gonna go ahead and turn that off just by clicking on it and closing it out. But I have 2 text boxes here. If I'm gonna split my class into 2 groups, I might wanna give them instructions. This is based off an old assignment called Write It, Do It, where students build something, they write out instructions, draw a diagram, and then their partner has to build it from only those things. But while one student is doing that, I have the other student working on something else, usually a related article that has to do with maybe computational thinking or process or language in science, something like that. So I have an article linked here from Tween Tribune, and there's just QR codes. So kids pull out their Chromebooks, they snap a picture of the QR code, it takes them right there. I could serve it out in Google Classroom, but this is just one of the ways you could use that QR code for whatever you want to give the kids to do, and maybe not let the other half of the kids see it in Google Classroom. So up at the top, I have a timer, and I can click play. Maybe they're gonna have 5 minutes to work, and you can see that running. Maybe that this is what I have, red light before we start. Okay guys, go ahead and get ready and go, and then I start my timer. Maybe I want the kids up front to work together, or maybe I want them to work silently. Maybe they can whisper with a partner. Whatever it is, I can set that here, and you can see that they're gonna ask a neighbor for help or whatever. So I can just quickly change that on screen. And that one is the work symbols down here. I already showed you the text boxes, the traffic light, the timer. There is a stopwatch. So I'm a science teacher, so if I want to do a quick demonstration where the kids have to complete a task maybe that is involved with our discussion or demonstration, and I want to see how how much time it takes. We do a chocolate chip lab where the kids have to dissolve it in their mouth. I might want to pull up a stopwatch, hit start, and then whenever their chocolate chip is dissolved, they raise their hand, they look at the time, and they write it down, or they just tell me and I tap the lab counter. So all that stuff is basically customizable. If you click the little cog, you can make it transparent, change the background color, all sorts of stuff. The one I didn't show you is this drawing one. So down here at the bottom, you see this little arrow. If I click my pancakes, hamburger, whatever you want to call it, I can add a new screen, I can add a poll, or I can add a group maker. So in this particular case, I've added a new screen, and I'll show you. This is Antelope Canyon. I didn't take this picture, but I've been in that spot. So this is a drawing tab right here, and you'll notice that I can choose my pen color. I'm gonna go with this one, and I might want to do a math problem, so 2 divided by 4, maybe we're talking about decimal approximations, whatever. I can draw in there, I can erase it, I can go back, I can delete everything, we can make it full screen. Some really, really great things with that drawing, and then you just pop it back out of the way and move on. So that's how I would particularly use this drawing with a smart display of some type. Well, the next one is the poll. Now I can envision using this at a transition time in class, whether it's the beginning of class, the end of class, or in the middle if you're swapping groups. You can set up a poll. So maybe my kids come in, I wouldn't ask this question in a science class, but you get the idea, how was your lunch? As they walk past the interactive board, they click on whatever they, whatever they think. Hopefully these kids didn't pack their own lunch, right? So we'll just click a bunch of them, and then I don't have to show this live. So if I go over here to the setting, I can just say, okay, hide the results. So I wait for every kid to get in and then I show it. So maybe this one is like, hey, did you think the homework went last night? Was it easy? Or did you do it, did you not do it? So now I have a check and an X. I can hide the results when the kids come in. I turn it on, great. We just collected some basic data, asked the kids how they were feeling. Maybe this is your social emotional learning way to check. And then I just reset it for the next class or hide the results, and class by class, I can tabulate results as the day goes by. So that's the poll. And the last page, what I've set up here is a group chooser. So these are my random students' names that I just generated online and threw them in there. So these are all fake names. But if I want, you'll notice that I have this pin selected. So I could randomly generate a list of students and then say, you know what, Mr. Elta, Bednar, and Robin work really well together. So I'm gonna put those together, but they don't work well with Scotty. And so I can go through and pin kids to groups and then just keep changing this out, and it will keep shifting those kids around, but it leaves the kids that are pinned until I get the groups that I'm looking for. So maybe I look at this one and say, Milo, okay, they're gonna stay, let's just swap it out again, and then each time I could generate that group, or I just generate randomly and the chips fall where they meant. So in ClassroomScreen, you're gonna notice that you have up at the top that you can add a new screen, a new poll, or a new group maker. Now this is all in the free version. The problem is, if you want to pay $30 a year, which honestly is a bargain, you get to save these screens. You can customize your own background. So if you created a Bitmoji classroom, you wanted to upload that as your background and then use it every single day, it might be really worth it for you to add in the tools that you're going to use for each lesson, name them by week or topic or whatever, and then pull them up as you need them as time goes by. So really, really cool tool. For $30, it might be well worth it for you. But I can see using this almost on a daily basis to just organize the tasks that I have in front of me for whatever students happen to be there that day. All right, so that is ClassroomScreen, and that is your full tutorial. Go ahead and check it out. Share this video with somebody else. If you've got a tool that you love and want to share that with me, please put that in the comments down below or tag me on social media. And until next time, I hope it was helpful and I hope you have a great week. See you later.